Imagine you wake up in the morning and the very first thing you do is check the time. Maybe your alarm clock is ringing or your phone is buzzing. You open your eyes and think, oh, it's 7 o'clock. Time to get up. This is how many daily conversations begin, with very simple ideas about time and routine. For example, you might say to yourself, I usually wake up at 7, but today I feel tired. These small sentences are easy to practice, and they are very common in daily life. Now think about what happens next. You go to the kitchen and see someone from your family. Perhaps it's your mother, your brother, or your roommate. The first words are usually very short and friendly. Someone might say, "Good morning. Did you sleep well?" And you can answer, "Yes, I slept well, thank you. How about you?" This is a very natural way to start a simple conversation. It's polite, easy, and it shows care for the other person. Sometimes the answer is not so simple. Maybe the person says, "No, I didn't sleep well. It was too hot last night." Or maybe, "I couldn't sleep because of the noise outside." When this happens, you can practice showing understanding. You might reply, "Oh, I see. I hope you can take a short rest later." Notice that you don't need long or difficult sentences. Even short and clear words can make the other person feel better. Daily conversations often include small details. For example, someone might say, "I need coffee. I can't wake up without coffee." And you could reply, "I prefer tea in the morning." These small exchanges give learners a chance to practice talking about their habits and preferences. They also help you learn how to continue a conversation, not just answer with yes or no. Another very common daily question in the morning is about plans. After greetings, someone might ask, "What are you going to do today?" Or, "Do you have class today?" These questions are very useful because they give you a chance to talk about your day. For example, you can say, "Yes, I have class at 9." Or, "No, I don't have class today. I want to go shopping." In this way, you practice using the future tense and sharing information about your schedule. At this level of English, the goal is not to speak fast or to use very complicated words. The goal is to speak clearly and to make your meaning easy to understand. Even if your grammar is not perfect, people can still understand you when you use simple and clear sentences. For example, if you say, "I go class 9," people will still understand you mean, "I go to class at 9." But it is better to practice the full sentence so you become more confident. Daily conversations are also about tone of voice. If you say, "Good morning," in a happy way, the other person feels welcome. But if you say it with a tired or angry voice, the meaning changes. So when you practice, try to smile and use a friendly tone. This makes the conversation feel natural and comfortable. Let's imagine one full example of a short morning conversation. "Good morning. Did you sleep well?" "Good morning. Not really. I woke up many times last night." "Oh, I see. That's too bad. Maybe you can take a short rest later." "Yes, maybe." "Do you want coffee?" "No, thanks. I prefer tea in the morning." "What are you going to do today?" "I have a class at 9, and after that I'll meet a friend." This short dialogue is simple, but it covers greetings, asking about sleep, talking about habits, and asking about plans. These are all very useful in daily conversation. Now let us move from the home to another very common place for daily conversation, outside the house, on the way to school or work. Imagine you are walking down the street and you see a neighbor or someone you know. The most common way to begin is with a greeting. You can say, "Hello" or "Hi. How are you?" This is a safe and friendly way to start. The other person usually answers, "I'm fine, thank you. How are you?" This short exchange is used so often that it becomes natural. But sometimes people don't just say fine. They might give a little more detail. For example, someone might say, "I'm a bit tired today," or "I'm good, but I'm busy." These small details keep the conversation alive. When you hear them, you can practice simple follow-up questions, like, "Why are you tired?" or "What are you busy with?" This shows that you are interested and it helps the conversation continue. On the street, people also talk about the weather. This is one of the most popular topics in daily life because it's easy and safe for everyone. You might say, "It's sunny today," or "It's raining again." The other person might reply, "Yes, it's beautiful weather," or "I hope it stops raining soon." These weather conversations may sound small, but they are very useful because they happen every day in real life. Sometimes you might meet a friend, not just a neighbor. In that case, the conversation can become a little longer. Imagine this situation. You see your friend waiting for the bus. You say, "Hey, how are you?" Your friend answers, "I'm good. I'm going to school. What about you?" Then you can say, "I'm going to work. I have a meeting this morning." This short dialogue shows how you can share your daily activities in a natural way. It's also common to make small plans in these moments. For example, your friend might say, "Do you want to meet after class?" And you can answer, "Sure, let's meet at the cafe at 4." Or if you are busy, you can say, "Sorry, I can't today. Maybe tomorrow?" These short sentences help you practice making plans and also saying no politely. Another example of a daily street conversation could look like this. "Hi, how are you?" "I'm fine, thanks. And you?" "I'm good. The weather is nice today." "Yes, it's perfect. Are you going to school now?" "Yes, I have class at 9. What about you?" "I'm going to work. I'll be busy all day." "I see. Maybe we can meet tomorrow." "That sounds great. Let's do that." Conversations like this are very short, but they give you practice with greetings, talking about the weather, sharing daily plans, and suggesting future meetings. These are the building blocks of everyday English. Now imagine you arrive at school or at work. Conversations here are usually a little different from the ones at home or on the street. They can be slightly more formal, but they are still friendly and easy to practice. When you meet classmates, colleagues, or teachers, the first step is usually a greeting. You can say, "Good morning," or "Hello." A teacher or boss might also say, "How are you today?" And you can answer politely, "I'm fine, thank you." "And you?" In these places, people often talk about activities or tasks for the day. For example, at school, a classmate might say, "Do we have homework to give the teacher today?" And you can answer, "Yes, I finished it last night," or "No, I forgot. I need to do it later." At work, a colleague might say, "Do we have a meeting this morning?" And you can reply, "Yes, at 10 o'clock in the conference room." Or, "No, it was moved to tomorrow." These are very practical sentences because they help you talk about real responsibilities. Another common type of conversation is about help. At school, a student may ask, "Can you help me with this exercise?" And you can answer, "Sure, let's do it together." Or, "Sorry, I don't understand it either." At work, a colleague may say, "Can you help me print this document?" And you can reply, "Of course, let me show you." Or, "I'm busy now, but I can help later." These simple exchanges teach you how to offer help and also how to say no in a polite way. Sometimes conversations also include sharing feelings about the tasks. For example, in school, a student might say, "This homework is difficult," and another might reply, "Yes, I think so too," but the teacher will explain it. At work, someone might say, "This project is stressful," and a colleague could answer, "Yes, but if we work together, it will be easier." These conversations are not just about information, they are also about supporting each other. Let's listen to a short example from school. "Good morning." "Good morning. Do we have homework to give today?" "Yes, the English homework. Did you finish it?" "Not yet. I stayed up late and I was too tired." "Oh, I see. Maybe you can do it quickly before class starts." And here's one from work. "Hello, do we have the meeting at 10? "No, it was changed to 11. "That's good. I have more time to prepare." "Yes, me too. Do you want to review the notes together?" "Sure, that's a good idea." As you can see, these short conversations are useful because they help you practice talking about tasks, schedules, and cooperation. Even if you only say a few sentences, you are already speaking real daily English. Now let's move to a different setting, lunchtime or a break. This is a very natural time for daily conversation because people are usually more relaxed and the language is often more personal and friendly. Instead of talking only about tasks or homework, people talk about food, hobbies, and daily life. Imagine you are in the school cafeteria or the office kitchen. One of the most common sentences is simply, "What are you eating?" or "What did you bring for lunch?" This question is very easy and it often starts a longer conversation. For example, someone might answer, "I have a sandwich," or "I brought rice and vegetables." You can then reply, "That looks good. I usually eat fruit for lunch." This way, you are sharing information and also learning to compare habits. Food is always a safe and easy topic. You can say things like, "I love pasta," or "I don't like spicy food." You can also ask others about their preferences. "Do you like pizza?" or "What's your favorite drink?" These are simple sentences, but they can create long and interesting conversations, even between people who don't know each other very well. Break time conversations also often include small personal details. For example, someone might say, "I'm so hungry today, I didn't have breakfast." And you can answer, "Really? I always eat breakfast. I can't start my day without it." Or a person might say, "I bought my lunch from the cafe near the office." And you can reply, "Oh, I know that cafe. Their soup is very good." These little exchanges make the conversation warmer and more friendly. Another common topic during breaks is how the day is going. A colleague or classmate might ask, "How is your day so far?" You can answer, "It's going well, thank you," or "I'm a bit tired, but it's okay." If you want to continue the conversation, you can ask back, "How about you?" These simple questions show interest and keep the dialogue going. Let's look at an example from a school cafeteria. "What are you eating today?" "Just a sandwich. What about you?" "I brought rice and chicken from home." "That sounds nice." "I don't usually bring food. I buy it here." "Yes, the food here is okay, but I prefer homemade." And here's one from an office break room. "I'm so hungry. I didn't eat breakfast." "Really? I always eat breakfast. It gives me energy."
I know, but I didn't have time this morning. Maybe you can grab something small tomorrow, like a banana. These short dialogues may seem simple, but they are very close to real-life English. They help you practice describing food, talking about habits, and giving small suggestions. After the school or work day ends, conversations often move to another very natural topic: making evening plans. At this time, people are usually more relaxed, and they talk about what they will do later or how their day went. This is a perfect chance to practice the future tense and everyday vocabulary about free time. Imagine you leave school with a friend. The first question might be, "What are you going to do after class?" A simple answer could be, "I'm going to the library," or "I'm going home to rest." If you want to continue the conversation, you can add more details. "I need to study for a test," or "I want to watch a movie tonight." This makes your answer more interesting and gives the other person more ideas to reply. With colleagues after work, the question might sound like, "Do you have any plans for tonight?" This is a very common daily phrase. You can answer, "Yes, I'm going to meet a friend," or "No, I'll just stay home and cook dinner." Even a short answer like this is useful practice because it teaches you to talk about future actions. This is also the time when people invite others to join their plans. For example, at school, a friend might say, "Do you want to go for a coffee after class?" You can reply, "Sure, that sounds good," or "Sorry, I can't today. Maybe another time." At work, a colleague might say, "We're going for dinner. Do you want to come?" And you could answer, "Yes, I'd love to," or "Thanks, but I already have plans." These polite responses are very important because they show how to accept or decline invitations naturally. Now let's move into another very useful situation: conversations in shops or restaurants. These happen often in daily life, and the language is usually polite, simple, and direct. Learning these sentences will help you feel more confident when you need to buy something or order food. Imagine you walk into a small shop. The shop assistant usually greets you first. They might say, "Hello, can I help you?" Or, "Good afternoon." A polite answer could be, "Hello, yes, I'm looking for bread." Or, "I just want to look around, thank you." These sentences are short but very important because they show respect and make the conversation smoother.
When you want to buy something, the most common question is, "How much is this?" For example, "How much is this t-shirt?" Or, "How much does this cost?" The shop assistant will give a price. "It's $10. You can then reply, "Okay, I'll take it," or "That's too expensive, thank you." This type of dialogue is simple but very realistic. In a restaurant, the situation is a little different but still easy to practice. When you enter, the waiter might say, "Good evening. How many people?" You can answer, "2 people, please," or "Just one, please." After sitting down, the waiter may ask, "Can I take your order?" And you can say, "Yes, I'd like a salad and some water," or "Can I have chicken and rice, please?" Using polite words like "please" and "I'd like" makes your English sound very natural. It's also common to ask about the menu. For example, you can say, "What do you recommend?" Or, "Does this dish have meat?" Or, "Can I see the dessert menu?" These questions are simple but very useful in real life. When you finish eating, you usually ask for the bill. You can say, "Can I have the bill, please?" Or, "Could I pay now?" The waiter will bring the bill, and you can say, "Thank you very much."
Here's a short example in a shop. Hello, can I help you? Yes, I'm looking for a notebook. Sure, they are over there. How much is this one? It's $3. Great, I'll take it. Thank you. And here's one in a restaurant. Good evening. How many people? 2, please. Here is your table. Can I take your order? Yes, I'd like some soup and bread, please. And for you? I'll have the chicken and rice. Thank you. I'll bring it soon. These conversations are short, polite, and full of very practical sentences that you can use any time you go shopping or eat out. Now, let's think about conversations that happen when you are outside in the city, especially when you need to ask for directions or travel from one place to another. These situations are very common for learners because almost everyone has to ask for help in an unfamiliar place. The good news is that the English you need here is very simple and direct. Imagine you are in a new city and you don't know where the train station is. You stop a person on the street and say politely, "Excuse me, can you tell me how to get to the train station?" The person might reply, "Yes, go straight and then turn left," or "It's very close, just 5 minutes from here." These answers are usually short, so it is helpful to listen carefully and repeat if necessary. Go straight and then turn left, right? This shows you understood and it helps you practice checking information. You can also ask for other important places like where is the bus stop or is there a pharmacy near here? These are useful in real life, especially when traveling. If you want to be extra polite, you can add, "Could you please tell me?" For example, "Could you please tell me where the nearest supermarket is?" Even if you use the shorter version, people will usually understand you.
When you receive directions, you may also hear words like across from, next to, or near. For example, someone might say, "The bank is across from the post office," or "The cafe is next to the bookstore." These small phrases are very important for daily conversations because they help you describe locations more clearly. Now imagine you are inside a train station or airport. The conversation might be with a worker. You could ask, "Excuse me, where is platform number 3?" Or, "When does the next bus to the city leave?" The worker might answer, "Platform 3 is downstairs," or "The next bus leaves in 20 minutes." Again, short, clear sentences are the key. Here's a short example on the street. "Excuse me, can you tell me how to get to the library?" "Sure. Go straight, then turn right at the traffic light. The library is next to the park." Thank you. So, go straight and then turn right, correct? Yes, that's right. Thanks a lot. And here's one in a station. "Excuse me, where is platform 5? Platform 5 is upstairs on the left. Thank you very much." You're welcome. These conversations are not long, but they are very important because they teach you how to ask questions politely, understand directions, and repeat information to be sure. They are part of daily life, not only for travelers, but also for anyone who needs help in a new place. Now let's imagine the evening at home, when the day is almost finished.
This is a very natural time for simple daily conversations because people often sit together, eat dinner, and talk about what happened during the day. The language here is friendly, relaxed, and often includes feelings or small stories. When family members or roommates meet at the table, the first question might be, "How was your day?" This is one of the most common evening questions. You can answer in many different ways depending on how you feel. For example, "It was good. I learned a lot in class." "It was okay, but I'm tired now." "It was a little stressful, but I'm happy to be home." After you answer, it's polite to ask back, "How was your day?" This keeps the conversation balanced and shows interest. At the dinner table, people often share small details about what happened. A student might say, "Today we had a surprise quiz," and another could reply, "Really? Was it difficult?" A worker might say, "We had a long meeting at the office," and someone else might answer, "That sounds tiring." These short exchanges are not complicated, but they are very real and help learners practice past tense. Talking about food is also very natural in the evening. Someone may say, "This soup is delicious," or "I really like this rice." You can respond with something simple like, "Thank you, I'm glad you like it," or "Yes, it's my favorite dish too." If you want to practice asking questions, you can say, "Do you want more?" or "Should I bring some bread?" These small sentences are very common in real life. Evening conversations can also include plans for tomorrow. For example, "What time do you have class tomorrow?" "I have class at 9. Do you need me to wake you up?" "Yes, please. That would be great." These small exchanges are helpful because they combine talking about the past, your day today, and the future, your plans for tomorrow. Here's a short example at the dinner table. "How was your day?" "It was busy. We had a lot of homework." "How about you?" "My day was good. Work was quiet today." "That's nice. Oh, this chicken is really tasty." "Thank you. I tried a new recipe." And another example later in the evening. "Are you tired?" "Yes, a little. I think I'll go to bed early tonight." "Good idea. What time is your class tomorrow?" "At 10. I can sleep a bit longer." These conversations are warm, simple, and very natural. They show learners how to talk about the day, give opinions about food, and prepare for tomorrow, all in clear, everyday English. Now let's look at conversations that happen on the phone or online. In modern daily life, many people spend time calling, texting, or chatting with friends, family, or colleagues. The language here is usually simple, but it can be a little different from face-to-face talk because you can't always see the other person's face or body language. That means the words become even more important. When you answer the phone, the most common first words are "Hello?" or "Hi, this is" your name. For example, "Hi, this is Maria," or "Hello, John speaking." On the other side, the person might say, "Hi Maria, it's Anna. How are you?" This simple start helps both people know who is speaking and makes the conversation clear. On the phone, people often ask about availability. For example, "Are you free to talk now? Is this a good time?" You can answer, "Yes, I can talk," or "Sorry, I'm busy right now. Can I call you later?" These are very polite and practical sentences. Another common topic is making plans. Friends may say, "Do you want to meet tomorrow?" Or, "Are you free this weekend?" You can answer, "Yes, that works for me." Or, "Sorry, I can't. I'm busy." It's also good to learn how to suggest another time. "I can't tomorrow, but how about Friday?" This helps you keep the conversation positive even when you have to say no. Online chat messages are usually shorter than phone calls. People often write things like, "Hi, what's up? Are you coming to class today? Don't forget the homework." The replies can also be short. "Yes, I'm coming." Or, "Thanks, I won't forget." Short written conversations like this are very common in daily English, especially between friends. Let's look at an example of a phone conversation. "Hello? Hi, this is Tom. Is this Sarah?" "Yes, speaking. How are you?" "I'm good, thanks. Are you free tomorrow afternoon?" "Yes, I think so. Why?" "Do you want to go to the park?" "That sounds nice. What time?" "How about 3 o'clock?" "Perfect. See you then." And here's an example of a short online chat. "Hi, are you at school now?" "Not yet. I'll be there in 10 minutes." "Okay, I'll wait for you near the library." "Great. See you soon." These conversations are short but very real. They help you practice greetings, asking about time, making plans, and confirming details. They also show that polite and clear sentences make communication easy even without face-to-face contact.
Now, let's move to another very important situation, meeting new people. These conversations are simple, but they are also very important because they help you start new friendships, make connections, and feel more comfortable in different places. The key is to keep your language clear, polite, and friendly. When you meet someone for the first time, the very first step is usually a greeting and an introduction. You can say, "Hello, my name is Anna. Nice to meet you." The other person might reply, "Nice to meet you too. I'm David." These short sentences are the basic building blocks for introductions. After that, people often ask simple questions to learn more about each other. The most common question is, "Where are you from?" For example, "Where are you from?" "I'm from Spain." "What about you?" "I'm from Brazil." Another very common question is, "What do you do?" or "What do you study?" For example, "What do you do?" "I'm a student." "I study English." "That's interesting." "I'm working in an office." These questions are short, but they can open up longer conversations. If you want to continue, you can ask simple follow-up questions such as, "Do you like it?" or "Is it difficult?" When meeting new people, it is also common to talk about hobbies or free time activities. For example, "What do you like to do in your free time?" "I like reading and listening to music." "Me too. I really enjoy music." "What kind of music do you like?" "I like pop music." These small exchanges help you discover common interests, which makes the conversation more friendly and natural. Let's look at a full example. "Hello, my name is Sarah. Nice to meet you." "Nice to meet you too. I'm Mark." "Where are you from, Mark?" "I'm from Canada. How about you?" "I'm from Italy." "Do you live here?" "Yes, I live here for work." "And you?" "I'm a student. I'm studying English." "That's great. Do you like it?" "Yes, it's interesting, but sometimes difficult." "I understand. Learning a new language takes time." This example shows how a simple introduction can grow into a longer and more meaningful conversation,
even with very basic English. These kinds of dialogues are important because they give you confidence to talk with strangers, classmates, or colleagues in a polite and natural way. They also practice key grammar points like present simple, I am, I study, I live, and basic questions like where are you from? What do you do? Now, let's move to one of the most important but sometimes forgotten parts of daily conversation: how to end a conversation politely and say goodbye. Beginning a conversation is important, but knowing how to close it in a natural way makes you sound confident and friendly.
Goodbyes are often short and simple. The most common words are goodbye, bye, or see you. For example, okay, I have to go now. Bye. See you tomorrow. Talk to you later. If you want to be more polite or formal, you can say, "It was nice talking to you," or "Have a good day." These phrases show respect and leave a positive impression. In many daily situations, people also give a small reason when they leave. For example, I need to go now. I have class. Sorry, I have to leave. I'm meeting a friend. I should go. I need to finish my homework. Adding a short explanation makes the goodbye feel natural and not too sudden. In family or close friendships, goodbyes can also include kind wishes. For example, good night, sleep well, take care, have a nice evening. These little phrases are warm and make the conversation end in a friendly way. Let's look at an example between classmates. Okay, class is finished. What are you doing now? I'm going home. I'm really tired. I see. I'm going to the library. All right, see you tomorrow. See you. Have a good evening. And here's one between colleagues at work. I should go now. I need to catch the bus.